Hi there! So today I wanted to discuss Matched by Ally Condie. What happened was I read number 1 and I read number 2. I had to wait on number 3. So in the meantime I went to some other books, and then so when this one came out I reread these because I just wanted it to be more fresh. I don't like to just kind of jump back into like the third and last one. And I believe it came out in 2010, and then I think Cross came out in 2011, and I think Reached just came out November of 2012, so they were like right in a row. And this is a dystopian young adult novel. For those of you who haven't read the book, I just really like the world that Ally Condie had kind of created. This is supposed to be set in the future, and it's just kind of like, I can kind of picture it, like our world kind of getting almost to that point, and it just kind of seemed almost in a way realistic, even though it's fiction and it's, you know, and it's just, they talked about how like technology had failed the society previous to them, how everyone relied on technology. The culture was so cluttered, there's so much different music and so much stories and stuff. So what they did when they created this society is they kind of pulled out what they thought was best, and they made like the 100 stories, and they made the 100 songs and the 100 paintings, 100 poems, and they just made 100. So they said it wasn't as cluttered. The society chooses, you know, where you work. They use data to decide what you're best at, and they look at your strengths and your weaknesses, and they use data to decide who you're going to marry. And it's just very all science, and they use this system. And it seems to work. I mean, it's, you know, we read about it and it sounds strange, but to them it's their world. And so basically they use the data, and they will find your perfect match, like for your personality, like genetic wise, so you'll have the best offspring. By now they, by the way, have gotten rid of like cancer. They have gotten rid of like genetic defects and things like that. And the main girl in the story is 17. She's about to be matched to her perfect match. And by the way, when I first read this book, I was saying Cassia. I wasn't sure how to say her name. It's C-A-S-S-I-A. Never met a girl with that name. And it turns out I was actually watching a YouTube video, and it had the author Ally Condie, and she was saying Kasha. And so I'm going to go with her, since she created the character. I'm just going to go with what she calls her. So now when I read it in my head, I'm saying Kasha instead of Cassia, which Kasha sounds better to me anyways. So Kasha's 17. She's about to be matched, and I'm not going to really spoil it. That's kind of like this setup. That's what's going on. This isn't spoiling it. If you read the back, it'll tell you. She is different though, in that she gets matched, and she accidentally, or maybe not accidentally, gets matched to two perfect people, like two perfect matches. Basically they're saying that, you know, that doesn't happen. No one has two perfect matches, everyone has one. And so through her discovery of this and what she's going to do and what she's going to make of this, she ends up kind of discovering more about herself and the society she lives in, and it's just really good. So for those of you who have not read it, you should go right now and buy it, check it out at your library, whatever you have to do, get it on your ebook, and you should read it. I really liked it. The first one I thought was extremely good. I really like books where you kind of you feel like you're just in this world and you're living it, and you picture like what your life would be like if you were in that world she's talking about. For those of you who have read it, I was going to just kind of discuss some of my favorite parts of the book. It sucks that you can't run in public. I would hate that. It sucks that there's a city curfew. The sleep tags I thought were weird. I wouldn't like the idea of, sometimes I have trouble sleeping anyways, and I feel like if these things were stuck to my skin, I feel like I'd be even more uncomfortable. The plain clothes would suck. I mean, there are some days when I don't, you know, I don't know what to wear, and I don't want to stand in front of my closet and figure it out, and I just want to put on something, and it would be nice to have plain clothes, and everyone would look the same on those certain days. The majority of my time, though, I would not want to wear these plain clothes that she talks about. I'd want to pick what kind of clothes I would want to wear. I was so upset when I found out, because I really liked her grandfather, and when I found out that they were poisoning the final banquet was just, I knew something seemed up because, I mean, it was just so weird, but because it was just like this new world, I didn't know what exactly was going on. And I thought it was weird how they're like, oh, you can't touch each other's trays, you can't eat his food, and that made me super mad. And then the fact that later in the book you find out that Kai is actually the one that's like washing the containers that was in it and getting off like the poison and stuff, and I just, I think one part that really got me going, I mean, one part that was just so infuriating, if you've read the book, I'm sure you can understand, when they took away the artifacts, I was so angry. It's not like it was just something she talked about at one point and then just forgot about. I mean, Kasha talked about her compact so many times in the book, and that's where she kept the secret poem that her grandfather had given her, which I loved that part. I love that poem, by the way. Do not go gentle. And then they take it, and I was just, and then that was right when her and Kai, I love their story, by the way. I mean, you kind of know what's going to happen. If the story had went that she was matched with Xander, and then it just on the side, she accidentally kind of was matched with Kai, but then she ignored it and went on the way she was supposed to and got matched with Xander, and everything was well. I mean, that wouldn't make a good story, would it? So, of course, we know she's going to do what other people don't do, and she's going to fall in love with not her match, even though she kind of was matched. It's not her match officially. And so you kind of know what's going to happen, but like all the scenes with the hill I thought were so cute. Him teaching her to write I thought was awesome. The part where, you know, he's trying to kind of open up to her, but then he's got so much in his past that she and like no one has any idea. The part that really showed it was when they were in the movies, and it showed the showing that was playing was she was almost like starting to laugh, and Xander was like laughing because it was so overdone, these actors that were like dying and there's blood everywhere. You can think of a really cheesy film or something. And then she looks over and she sees Kai crying, and it was just so sad. It was just, oh my gosh. And she didn't and he didn't think anyone had seen him, and it was so quick, and it was just so moving because at that point you didn't know much about him, and then here he is crying when people are like laughing. And I really, really like Kai's character. Xander was, in this book, you don't know much about Xander. He's just kind of the person who was always her best friend. He seems super intelligent. He seems very attractive, blonde, blue-eyed. He's like how her life should have went, maybe, if it was going along with society. And then in the end, though, you know, she just went with what her heart wanted. I love that part. I love how Kasha changes so much in the book. From the beginning to the end, she changes a lot in every aspect. And before she knows it, she's asking, well, why? And, you know, why do we have to do this? And, well, why can't I choose? And she's actually wondering, like, why does this society, you know, control everything she does? It was a lot of things, like when they took away the artifacts, when they cut down the trees in her yard, like that was just so awful. Like, it's Maple Tree Borough and they cut down the maple trees. Okay, what is it now? There were a couple times I got sad in the book, like I said, when they took the artifacts and stuff, but the time when I started crying in the first time I read this, when they took Kai away, I was just, I just couldn't take it. You kind of knew eventually something was going to happen. Someone was going to find out, or someone would find out about the kiss, or something, you know, with her official telling her, basically warning her, and you knew it, but it just, you didn't want it to happen, and then it does happen, and it was so sad. I mean, when she's running out there, and then her mom and dad follows, and he's finally like kind of not hiding anything, and he just kind of lets it out because he knows he's getting taken. I think one of the worst, I missed it earlier, I kind of jumped to the end with Kai leaving and all that, but I kind of missed it. But one of the worst parts, when she gets her final, what's it called, like the final assignment, I thought I was gonna like throw up. I was so sick to my stomach. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and they have her sort him. I could not believe. Of course it has to be him. So basically, summed up, I want you to comment. I want you to tell me what you thought if you read this, your feelings on it. If you want to subscribe, so that way you get notified whenever I do this next one, Reached, you should. Mostly I want you to comment. I want you to talk about it. I want to discuss it. I love talking to people about books, and unfortunately a lot of my friends don't like to read. So do me a favor and comment and read these and all of that. Me and Miss Audrey just wanted to say bye. Oh. Well, she said bye. Okay, that's it. So subscribe, comment, let me know. Have a super duper day. I'm off. I'm gonna go sledding. Bye guys.